because that way you can get a transcript.
I want each person to introduce themselves, and if you have a goal that you would like to share, I think, energetically we can all kind of boost that and send energy to it. And I, I think we all feel safe here sharing our goals. So, Lauren, do you want to go first?
Okay, I'm working on a move. I'm in Ocala, Florida, and I'm working on getting back to Kentucky. So
Wow.
I'm working on manifesting my new property there.
Okay.
And it's very exciting. The place that I actually sold when I moved from there is being offered back to me. So
Well,
I'm just really putting energy toward making that happen.
from an astrological standpoint, that sounds very Plutonian. Resurrecting.
Mhm.
Yes.
I picked a card. I don't know if you all have your vision board cards yet, but we can pick them for you. So I get the nourishment card. So I
Okay.
think Kentucky must feel very nourishing
It
for
does.
mind, body, spirit.
And maybe this is how you felt in Florida. It's like you being across the river from everybody else. This was a cover of actually the Paradise Found art book about Amy.
Mhm.
Uh,
I prioritize.
Nourishing my body
Nice.
and spirit with healthy choices.
So
Thank you.
it's a good thing.
It is.
When you do your vision board, a good friend of mine who also does vision board classes, she likes to write your affirmation on the blank board before you start. Your affirmation or your wish or your goal, like moving back to Kentucky, and then you put the collage on top of it. But kind of the words are magic underneath that all, like a little spell.
Yeah. Yeah, I also got oh, it's a gratitude book
Yes,
for writing affirmations.
that's a nice looking one. Hopefully that's on our wish list to do that. It's a good accompaniment. It's so
Yeah, it
weird
has
because people
daytime and
don't write.
nighttime.
Do you guys write longhand? Because I still do.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
I think
Yeah.
it does something to your brain, the
Mhm.
act of writing. And I mean, I can't read my own anymore, but I do write. Joan, you two share what your goals are today?
Okay. Well, thanks to Erin, I'm just kind of a last minute joiner, but I am happy to be here. I am a intuitive abstract art instructor and I travel the US and
Wow.
some abroad. And now that I'm in my 70th decade, I honestly feel all my dreams have come true. I've pretty much had everything I've ever wanted be happen for me. It hasn't been easy really, but I've had a wonderful life. And my word for the year has been distill, which is just kind of distilling the experience and maybe narrowing my approach. And yet I love what I do. So part of my goal, I think, would be staying healthy
Yes.
and finding new ways to say and speak and communicate, what I've gleaned.
That's beautiful. I can relate a lot to what you're saying because I'm 74. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes I forget how old I am.
I mean, I know, right?
I think
It
everything,
happens so fast.
yes.
Yeah.
It's almost like you have to appreciate where you've come from, and not when you're younger. I think we make more plans, right? There are
Yeah.
more
I mean, I'm
goals.
not
Yeah.
at the point where I have to figure it out and accomplish certain things. I'm not building a resume anymore.
Right.
It's okay, what now? What can I contribute now and how can I stay strong and have enough energy to do
Yes.
a good job?
Yes. Well, those are great goals. I mean, it's sort of a crystallization.
Yeah,
And
that's a good word for it. Very good. Yeah.
because Saturn, we're astrologers, Saturn in Aries now is like a crystallization. Saturn's always like that, but in Aries, it's almost like what impulses do we have that we can crystallize and make real? It's making things real.
That's nice.
Aaron, well, you have a baby, so what are your goals?
I do have a baby, and he was one of my goals. And
He's so cute.
yeah, I right now I in this kind of like connecting the dots phase. And so things are just kind of popping up in front of me, and I'm going from the next dot to the next dot without knowing. Well, I mean, I know where I'm going, but I have to deal with a lot of uncertainty to get there. And so I'm just going dot to dot to find my way there. And so that's how I ended up signing. I just got your email, and that was one of my dots. And so I have this room that has all my nice magical pieces. And so there's a spot ready for it for a vision board.
Oh, perfect.
So we'll see what it looks like, you know, at this dot.
So I picked a card for Joan. I get trust.
I like that.
That kind of ties in with what you were saying, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And for Aaron, I get the courage card. So you're saying the uncertainty and the unknown, you know, so it's just, you know, being brave, taking that one step at a time. That we all need courage now.
Yeah.
There's so much uncertainty, right?
Oh,
Maggie, you've kind of been through that retirement and starting a new chapter.
I have, yeah, and I feel similarly to Joan in that I really feel like all of my dreams, you know, big goals have been achieved, but still want my retirement years to be productive and creative. So I don't have a specific goal that I'm working on, but I do have a meeting with my publisher tomorrow, actually, for a potential 10th book. Not
Oh,
as prolific
great.
as you, but I'm excited about that. So it might be around, you know, just good, you know, good juju and
Look at what I got.
for
So
this
these
book.
two are stuck together, actually. I get opportunity and creativity.
Sounds
So,
good.
Wow,
so I think it's definitely going to be a productive meeting.
that sounds awesome. Opportunity and creativity. I love that.
And 10th book sounds pretty impressive too.
Yeah.
yeah, it does.
Thank you. Uh, yeah, that was a big dream come true for sure. And health probably just to
Yep.
continue getting better health practices and habits in place. So those
Yeah.
two. But
That's
thank you.
that's our big number one also.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Wellness.
it's so important, especially as we get older. So I'm going to be 67 in September, and
We can't take anything for granted anymore, right?
we can't. No, but so good to see you and be with all of you.
Yes,
Thank you
thank
for
you for
holding this.
joining us.
This is
Yeah.
fun.
So Donna, so what's your handle? You're the craft
Yeah, crafty lady. And
crafty.
craft with the letter D for Donna lady. Yeah, so I have, you know, my passion project is tarot and some other energy work, but my day job is just not amazing. And so I think I am manifesting, you know, either working more on my passion project. I mean, that is really nice, but my current day job just takes over so much more of my
Yeah.
time. So that, and I think part of that is also, you know, paying down some debt, which I do my a new moon check spell
You do?
nearly every new moon that Monte and Amy shared. So I think, you know, the combination of, you know, career change, I feel a little stuck there, and you know, money management. And I'm super happy to be here. I'm really excited.
Oh, thank you for
Yeah,
joining.
yeah.
I love all of the goals, you know, touch all of us, right? That we can relate, and it's good, empowering, you know, to share all of it, and then to make the vision board, and you guys know using an oracle is so powerful to guide you along the way. So all of our cards, we use them all the time.
We do.
Lisa?
Oh, hello.
Hi.
I'm so grateful to be here. It feels like landing. To be able to be
Yes, it
present and
does.
focused. And I've loved hearing what everyone's shared. Like
Slow internet. Mhm.
Wait, hold on a second. I have no idea what just happened.
Whoops.
She
can
probably
everybody-
has a slower internet. Is
Oh,
my guess.
where's Lisa?
Oh, she popped out.
Hmm.
That happened to her before. It said that Lisa had left and then joined again.
Right when she was getting ready to share.
While we're waiting,
Everything's symbolic, right? Now, I wonder how sure she is of her gold.
while we're like waiting for Lisa to join back, do you mind pulling a card for me?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
That's okay.
See, Donna. Donna gets patience. That kind of ties in with what you were just saying.
Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
That's a hard. What's your sign?
That's the hardest one.
Virgo.
I'm an Aries, so that's always my lesson.
Yeah.
I wonder if Lisa knows that she's.
You're not, sorry.
But your project, Donna, for the tarot, have you completed some of it, or you haven't started yet?
I am not creating a deck. I read and I am trying to go more into
Okay.
different areas. But yeah,
You want to do readings for people, you mean?
I do readings for people,
Okay.
yeah. And I also do workshops, and I used to be more consistent, but this job, which actually the patients make sense, it's a nonprofit, and it's hard and I'm learning so much. So I think there's a reason why I'm here in this place that I
I
have
bet,
to tell
yeah.
myself, oh yes, I love this every day. But yeah, it takes up so much time that I have less time for the things that bring me joy in the tarot world, so and Oracle, I read Oracle decks too. I have a little sassy sometimes on Fridays on my Instagram, F it Friday, and I do like
Okay.
do a kind Oracle and
That's
one
a
that's
good practice to make a
Yeah.
consistent time to do that.
yeah, and the folks really enjoy it. It's kind of fun.
Rebecca is joining us. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi,
And
I'm
you were
sorry
early.
I'm late.
No,
It's
you were
okay,
actually
you were
early.
early.
You were early.
No
and then
way.
You came in at like 10:02, and then I was like, well, okay. And then I hit the wrong button, and the
Can
next
we
thing
see
you know,
you, or are you staying
Yeah,
dark?
yeah, I'm trying to find my,
it's the usual.
I don't know why it ought, oh, I know what it is. I have a little sticky thing over the,
Yes, which is a good idea.
cause,
Oh,
I am
yeah.
not paranoid. It turns
No,
out
no, no,
I'm
no.
right.
Listen, people in government all cover their cameras, every one of them.
Now we can see you.
Hi.
Now I'm waving.
Now, so
Uh,
we've
yes,
all
ma'am.
just kind of shared some of our goals. Do you want to share yours, and we'll pick a card on it?
Oh, okay. I got two goals. One is to, okay, so we're looking at some farmland. So that's, I have no idea where or what or anything. It's really amorphous. So that's not my number one thing. My number one thing is to understand my subconscious better so I listen better. So
Understand
yeah.
what did she say?
To understand her subconscious better, so she listens to it better.
Oh, that's a
I like
great
that
goal.
one.
I'm gonna pick a card for that one.
Okie doke.
And I'm gonna think about you looking for farmland, but you don't know where you're looking. Did
Oh.
you say that, or am I?
Well, no, I'm not sure how much or where, and I'm waiting for the market to crash so I can afford to buy it.
I don't think you're gonna have to wait much longer.
I'm hoping. There's so much squirrely stuff happening here.
Look at what
Everywhere.
I got for this is for your, to understand your conscious mind better,
Celebration.
so that's to show that you do that already. To me, that celebrate is to celebrate how good you are at it already.
Oh, that's
And,
great.
and that feeling that is going to bring in more.
Yeah, most people don't even want that.
Just
Well,
wanting it opens
I
you
think
up.
I arrived here pursuing it.
I'm trying to get Lisa to come back. I don't know what happened.
So I did come on early, but then I was driving and I didn't want to have to try to figure out Zoom while I was driving.
No
So
problem. No, believe me, I'd rather you didn't.
we did not. I had planned this better, but it
No,
wasn't
you were on
executed
early.
better.
It's my
It's
fault.
fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
We just lost somebody though.
Yeah.
Should we just do something else in the meantime?
No, I think you should start.
Okay. Maggie, do you feel like leading us in like a prayer to ground ourselves?
That is so nice. And there's one I may have at hand. That's Julia Cameron,
She used to run this huge church in San Francisco.
which is about creativity.
Okay.
And well, I found another one. So
Okay.
this is a lovely one. This is I think good for our next moves. It's by John O'Donohue. Most people know John O'Donohue, the wonderful late Irish poet who I was lucky enough to meet. I got to sit next to him at a luncheon one time. He was just a lovely man.
I'm so glad Lisa came back.
Yeah, just in time for the prayer, the
Doing a
blessing.
prayer.
So
The timing is good.
this is John O'Donohue. It's from Anam Cara, his book. May the light of your soul guide you. May the light of your soul bless the work you do with the secret love and warmth of your heart. May you see in what you do the beauty of your own soul. May the sacredness of your work bring healing, light, and renewal to those who work with you and to those who see and receive your work. May it release within you well springs of refreshment, inspiration, and excitement. May you be present in what you do. May you never become lost in the bland absences. May the day never burden. May dawn find you awake and alert, approaching your new day with dreams, possibilities, and promises. May evening find you gracious and fulfilled. May you go into the night blessed, sheltered, and protected. May your soul calm, console, and renew you.
Oh,
It
that's so
is, amen.
beautiful.
Perfect.
Isn't that beautiful? John O'Donohue, a blessing.
Have that phone.
You know, I
Really
feel
was.
like if we put our hands on our hearts and just do a little breathing, that'll join us all together even more and join us to our goals.
But we should. Lisa has to tell us.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm watching out for you, Lisa. Don't worry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Um, the internet goes out sometimes where I live when it rains. So that's what happened, I think. I remember Joan mentioned her word of the year, and I also have choose a word of the year, which is presence. So maybe the universe was also showing me the word reconnection.
We were wondering, we knew it was symbolic.
Yeah.
Yes.
I very recently went through a breakup. That was, it was necessary, and so I'm kind of recollecting myself and my goals to bring into today are, I wrote down the words rejuvenation. Health is also a focus, and a refocusing on myself. Whereas there was a lot of energy focusing on my partner and his 2 sons. And rejuvenation of heart and clarity of mind. Or as a more physical, concrete goals. Over the last couple of years, I've done a lot of, clearing and cleaning and making order in my home. But I'm at the final, like 15 to 10%. And I don't know, there's some toughness in there. So I'd like to feel more inspired as I just keep, as opposed to it being drudgery,
Okay.
more joy.
Yes.
Oh, now I'm getting the signal, your internet connection is unstable. Okay, clearly I have some reconnecting to do. And
picked
last
a
but not
card-
least, I'm beginning to develop a podcast, which I would like to be a focus for next year.
I picked the practice card for you. So
Oh,
it's like
okay.
everything you're talking about, I think it's just, make it an everyday practice. Doing a podcast certainly helps that because it's a regular practice. And she's playing an instrument, so I don't know if music is important to you, but that it could be an asset to the joy for sure, right?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
You're
You're
welcome.
welcome. Okay, we're all here.
So Monte's going to lead us in his manifestation process, which I don't know if any of you are familiar with his quantum affirmations, but it's part of our vision board oracle also to help supercharge your oracle.
And to show how technical we are,
I'm going to be making my vision board while you guys make yours. We've got 2 cameras going here.
yeah, it's a class act. What can I say? Do you want to go back to us? I'm sorry.
Well, you're doing the quantum affirmations, right?
Sure. Well, everybody can start. I provide the background noise here. So,
I'm just going to share my goal.
okay. Wait, hold on.
So I'm kind of focusing on the summer solstice, because here we live in a resort area and the population like quadruple. So we always kind of look forward to seeing people we don't see the rest of the year, and then we're kind of happy when they leave at the end of the summer. But I'm like, want summer to be fun. We've been working so hard, so we want make new friends, new celebrations. So I'm gonna concentrate on making a fruitful summer. And I think I'm gonna write on my board,
Wait, trying to produce here. Wait, hold on a second.
I'm gonna write fruitful summer.
Wait a second.
25 for Monte and Amy. We just did a vision board class with 7th graders. So we got there, we gave them materials. You didn't hear another word from them for 2 hours. They were so into it. I mean, we basically didn't have to do anything.
No, we could have been like good invisible ghosts. And then then they curated a show of art. Amy's one of the 3 artists in it, and it was so much fun just watching these 12-year-old girls. And there was a few guys. It's a school called the Ross School, which is a private school here, started by Courtney Sales Ross, who was the widow of Steve Ross from AOL and Time Warner and all that. And it looks like the buildings look like they were built by Frank Lloyd Wright. I mean, it's an unbelievable school, but the kids are great. They're not overwhelmed by the architecture, which is surprising.
Oh, I want to show them.
Oh, okay. So you want close-ups, you mean?
Yeah.
Sorry. I've never been a director before. But what I really want to do is direct. That's the old joke.
So everyone's always asking me what glue I use. So what I like, especially if you're working sort of fast, and some of you might know this about the gel medium, because you can put it on the board, stick the piece you're gluing, then put it on top of it, and it dries clear, and it's like the easiest way to glue a collage, gel medium. I also like this, it's called pH neutral PVA. It's like for bookbinding. And that's if maybe you're doing something more serious. It's sort of like Elmer's glue, but it's more pure. I like that too. And then if you want to flatten something, you can use a brayer, you can, you can roll a glass
Is Breyer spelled like Breyer's ice cream?
with an A.
Oh,
And my favorite scissors are these. They're small and you can kind of really go around curves and everything. So I don't know if you guys have a pile of stuff with you to make a vision board. I hope so. Because you don't have to finish it today. You can come back and add stuff after. But while Monty talks, we can all cut and glue and paste. And if you have any questions, just put them in the chat.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, all Amy's art is our vision boards. One of the things about doing this project is we realize that all of Amy's tapestries are vision boards because, and I guess a lot of art is a vision board because you're putting down what you know, what you feel, what you want.
It gives you a real time to focus on what you want. Sometimes we'll do a little meditation and then you're on to something else, but the vision board, you're spending time with it and then you're going to look at it after. So it's really a reminder. It's like a magic map of what you want. Have some of you done vision boards already?
Wait,
It's like a thing, right?
I muted a lot of people because we were starting to hear stuff, but
Okay.
but you can unmute yourself if you want to say something.
This is Donna. I usually start at a vision board, beginning of the year, but I just kept, this is perfect timing. I haven't. Although I did do, I taught a class for high school students using Canva to do,
Oh,
they're all
yeah.
techie,
There's more digital, right?
Yeah, we love
digital,
Canva.
yeah. And they did vision boards on Canva, and that was really fun.
Yeah, Canva is awesome. What is the thing they're doing now that you can do that they didn't used to have? That's so interesting.
I don't remember.
Canva, you can publish stuff, make books, or
Oh, yes. It's so much, they're always adding stuff.
yeah. So I mean, I feel like I'm back in the classroom as a useless appendage, but the book that comes with the Vision Board Oracle contains a lot of the information that I have found when I was doing my book, Quantum Affirmations, but it also has to do with things I found after writing Quantum Affirmations. So the way Quantum Affirmations works, very similar to a vision board, is the first thing you have to identify is your goal. What do you want to do? And believe it or not, that's the hardest question, or one of the hardest
But they
questions.
did.
Yes, so you've done that. But when I do readings for people, especially if there's a psychic component to it, the first question I say to them is, what do you want? What do you want to know? And a lot of times, people say, well, read me. I said, no, I don't work like that. So, and then the second part of the quantum affirmations technique is, why haven't you gotten your goal? And that is another, excuse me, I'm gonna get a drink of water. It usually makes people cough. So it's, why haven't you gotten what you wanted? And so the whole purpose is to get people comfortable with being themselves and their life where it is at that moment. Because the second question, why haven't you gotten it, can send people into the frenzy of, oh my God, I failed. But you haven't failed. it's all about trial, error, and oh my God, we have this amazing piece from Jules Pfeiffer, our friend who just unfortunately passed away at the ripe old age. How old was he? 95? Yeah, I mean, but so vital. And it's a whole piece on failure. So why haven't you gotten what you
Well,
wanted to get?
some of their goals are new.
Right. So forget that. So the third thing is to identify your gift. What is it that flows through you and to you effortlessly and endlessly? And then the fourth one is to combine your gift with your goal, so that anytime you see your goal, and you all identified your goals this time, and when you think about that, rather than setting up a negative charge with it, think, I don't know if you had science class, but the atoms, the electron, which is kind of negative, flows around, and you can't get through that unless you're super positive. So you identify your gift and blend it with your goal, so that every time you think about your goal, you think about something you're really good at. It reduces your own self-negativity to obtaining that which you want.
Can you give an example?
Can I give you an example? Well, it depends on the goal. So if you want to have more money, which is usually a big one, anytime you think of that, instead of thinking of, oh, I don't have more money, you think of something you're really good at. And that sort of takes the negative charge away from the concept of, I wish I had more money.
It's a good thing to put on your vision board, something that you're really good at.
Yeah, well, see, this is it. It's a whole evolutionary process. And of course, now I'm like, did I put that in the book? That's, welcome to my world, right? So I don't know if I put it in the book or not. And you know what? It doesn't matter. The main thing is getting to your goal. And
By the way, it's good to tear. I love tearing.
she loves to tear while I'm talking. It's a lot of fun. And the fifth part of the quantum affirmation technique is making what's called a quantumplation. And the word is contemplate, but contemplate has the same root in it as temple. And when you make a quantumplation, it's a quantum charged visualization that includes those issues that why didn't I get what I wanted? Because if you get what you want, it's not going to be all positive. And I think this realistic attitude, which was sort of drummed into me by my police sergeant father, who, he was 99% the problems that are going to occur based on what you're saying. Whereas I was 99%, oh, isn't it going to be great? But somewhere in the middle is the reality that no matter what you want, whether it's moving back to Kentucky or getting unentangled from a partnership or all the different things, no matter what you want, there's always going to be stuff. There's going to be legal stuff, and there's going to be the neighbors, and
It's good to visualize that, right?
exactly. And if you're making a vision board, it should include the problems or negative things. When I say that, the challenges that come, there's the expression, it comes with the territory. Back in the day when they had land grants, they would give out land, and some had water, some didn't. Some had a bunch of people next to you that you didn't want to live with, and some didn't. It's what comes with the territory. So no matter what your goal is, the other goal is to make sure that your subconscious knows that you can handle whatever is going to be thrown at you. And of course you can't foresee everything. And actually the goal in quantum affirmations comes to you. It does. That's the weirdest part, is that it comes. It never comes the way you think it's going to come, but it comes. And part of that is you showing your subconscious that you can handle stuff, that you were able to visualize your goal coming true in this contemplation, warts and all. because if, you know, I want to have more money so I can just sit around the pool and blah, blah, blah. Well, out in the Hamptons, you know, and being you know, thanks to Zoom, I read for people all over the world. And a lot of them are very wealthy. And if you think they don't, of course, you know, you don't think this. But
They're
some people
enlightened
think they
people.
have no problems. They have plenty of problems. It's just different problems. And so, you know, it's visual. You know, I want, this is really true. I always laugh when I say it. I was talking to my friend and showing him this. It's somebody I really know I played guitar with. He happens to be very wealthy. And I said, okay, now I want you to visualize getting $1 million. And he's like, can it be 1 billion? You know, it's because in his world, he has $1 million. He has almost whatever. So it's everybody has issues. Everybody has goals. And in doing a vision board, yes, you want to put on your stuff, but you know, we were friendly with Louise Hay, and I never had this conversation, but I wish I did with her about why do people stop in the middle of their affirmations process and don't do it. And the reason is
You
because,
mean they just give up?
well, yeah, exactly. Because every day and every way I'm getting better and better. Who was that? Catherine Ponder. But some part of you knows that, well, every day and every way, you know, I'm getting a little older and maybe it's not 100% true. But you got to get through that. You got to get through that and say, you know, okay, fine. But I'll deal with it. And once, you know, your subconscious is not going to allow you to walk into a fire unless you're really crazy. And so it's going to want you to go through processes that help you grow and do not kill you and make you stronger. So the goal of the process is to become strong and to make friends with yourself, make friends with your fears, make friends with your dark side. You know, all that stuff, it basically comes down to fear is the destroyer. And there's so many spiritual sayings about, you know, if you know yourself and you know your enemy, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. That's Sun Tzu. And I think he also said, one who overcomes others is great, one who overcomes the self is greatest. That's a paraphrase because they're, you know, all the ancient sayings are totally sexist and annoy the hell out of me. But it basically always comes back to that, you know. And I wrote Quantum Affirmations because I had to figure out how to go from being a homeless, sad person to having this wonderful life and being with Amy for 50 years. And then I realized I have a technique. I have something that works. And that's what it came down to. I have somebody who could make a vision board while I'm yakking away. I mean, that's a gift right there from, I keep looking at your Todd Stock shirt. He's one of my favorites. Todd Rundgren. Oh my God, he's so talented. I was a musician and music didn't work. It worked in the sense that we were good, but I was doing songs like We Are One and In Another Lifetime. And that required work on the part of someone who was going to help what I was doing get out there. And very few people are willing to do the work. So I think one of the vision board qualities is that it puts it on you. It says that there's things that you can do that will affect reality.
And also, you're responsible.
Yeah, and taking response. That's something I've always done. I never wanted to be that person standing, you know, my parents this, and because my parents were totally messed up. But I didn't want to be one of these people I saw saying, I'm this way because of my parents. What was that in West Side Story? I'm depressed on account of I'm deprived. You know, Sergeant Krupke, I think, is my spiritual teacher. Yeah, nobody wants someone with a social disease. God, the lyrics are so good in that song. But anyway, quantum affirmations and vision boards, there is a scientific basis for why they work. Because there's a tremendous electrical component to human beings. We are these spiritual beings. That's what I love about Amy's art the most, is that it shows, it's a representation of Einstein's theory or the quantum field or the Akashic record or whatever you want. There's a human being. Yes, it might be a human being that was drawn in the 1800s, or from a Valentine, or from a dish towel, or whatever. And it's surrounded by the energies, the
I'm just
incredible,
looking at the word surround.
cool. And coincidences like that. Of course, there are no coincidences. And all the magic in people's life. I mean, that's what I love about Amy's work, and that's what I love about the vision boards. And the scientific basis is, anybody who knows anything about quantum physics knows that there's something called quantum entanglement. And Einstein, who was one of the inventors of quantum physics, did not like quantum physics. And he said, God does not play dice with the universe. And then I think Niels Bohr, who was one of the other inventors, who was also understood the atom, said, who are you to say what God does? You know, that's what scientists do. You know, put two of them in a room, you get three opinions. And so there's Einstein calling quantum entanglement spooky action at a distance. And I've expanded the concepts of quantum physics to include consciousness as the smallest particle, because the other name for quantum physics is particle physics. And it turns out that light acts as both a wave and a particle. And I think consciousness is smaller than that. So at the very least, it acts as a wave and a particle. And according to the phone, I guess the spam people think that as well, because those are the only calls we ever get. So, or if they're listening to me, if this is the NSA, you got to come through in case I, start getting forgetful. I can just ask the NSA what I said and what day I said it. It's all recorded through my phone. I'm trying to look on the positive, So anyway, quantum physics, they talk about the quantum field, which is everything at the same time. Einstein said that time is the resistance to everything happening at the same time. So that postulates that there is this incredible, I can't even describe it, field where everything exists at the same time, and we're perceiving it linearly. That's the quantum field. The ancients had the concept. They called it the Akashic record, just like they had 5 elements. One of the elements was ether. Ether is energy. That's the Einstein stuff. By the way, when we were teaching this class, I was asking these students if they knew who Einstein was, because sometimes I'm a little worried. There was the only sentence in the room on the board was by Einstein. So obviously the kids were all right, which is kind of wonderful. But getting back to quantum physics and why vision boards work, because when your consciousness is attuned to the vibration of the future, you want to quantum entangle yourself with the future that you want to get to. Because in every moment, if you look at time as like a phonograph needle, if you remember what that is, the phonograph needle is in a groove, and what quantum physics says is that groove can go out in 27 different directions. There are probable futures. And how do you get to the one you want to get to? My theory, you quantum entangle yourself with the future you want to get to by visualizing it, warts and all. That's basically what it comes down to. And the vision board allows you.
It's not being negative in the sense of saying something can't happen.
No, it's going to happen.
No, but we do those kind of affirmations all the time.
Oh, for sure, yes.
Saying it's not possible.
Well, that's the problem with affirmations. Everybody's like, well, the affirmations don't work. Yeah, they do. Oh, yeah, they work. The ones that says I'm too big for this, I'm too little
Too
for
old.
this, I'm too old, those affirmations are kicking your ass at least mine, every minute of the day. And so.
And a few of us have the age thing going on where
Yes.
we're combating which is societal ageism.
Yeah, but check out the fact that people who are 30 are having ageism issues because they're not in their 20s anymore. I think it's just it's like a free-for-all.
You mean how down on ourselves we can be?
Well, that's the problem. I mean, especially nice people. I see this all the time. If somebody comes to a nice person with problems, that nice person is going to say, oh, you're going to be fine, you're going to be great. And they'll come up with all accurate reasons that this person is okay and is going to be fine. But if it's them, people don't give themselves a break. That might be
You
one.
mean they're not as nice to themselves as they would be to someone else?
True. And so, yes. And so, in a way, having a difficult childhood makes you grow up either tough or crushed by it. And I think the quantum affirmations technique that I've evolved is because I did not want to be crushed by it. And it led me to you, so I can't complain.
Right.
So, actually, when I met Amy, I had been doing, I had been studying Yogananda. I don't know, everybody seems to know who Yogananda is.
Isn't that great? That they know?
Autobiography of a Yogi, which is a great book. And I was doing Kriya Yoga, and then I was reading the Seth Speaks material, and I really want to know the nature of reality. And there is an old expression, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And the teacher appeared, it was Amy. And it's all, I think it's all quantum affirmations, it's all vision boards. You know, sometimes the vision board's in our head.
Well, a lot of our guests today are artists, so they're used to visualizing.
Exactly. Listen, I said that I'm just providing background noise for this. I understand that. I'm okay
We always
with it.
need reminding.
Yeah, I remind myself every day. What were you pointing at just then?
It's blinking, the
What's
light,
blinking?
the light.
Oh, you mean it's running out?
Oh,
That's what they do when they run out.
okay.
Okay.
Just a bit about vision boards, and I'm sure you guys know, I always put the bigger pieces on first. And maybe before you start, you have a pile of bigger pieces and a pile of smaller things. And you can't make a mistake.
Because you can cover
That's
it
the
up.
great part about it.
So where was I prattling on about?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, please save me.
Okay. Well, so I'm listening to all these things, and I kind of got in the quantum
Yes,
Yeah, please.
can you do like a 1 through 5, like a,
Sure.
I know you just explained it, but like a short version, because I missed them in my notes. Like a 1 is this, 2 is
Not
that.
a problem. The first one is identify your goal. What do you want? You know, because a lot of times when people come to me for reading and they'll say, I'll do it fast, and then I'll come back. Okay, okay, what do you want? Why do you think you have not gotten
Your
what you want
history.
is number 2. What's the history with your goal? What's your history with your goal? Which is usually enough to send me right to the exits. You know, why didn't I get what I wanted to get? It's like, well, because you're an asshole. That's why.
well,
You
for
get it.
instance, she says she wants to make tarot more prominent in her life as something that she has time for.
Right.
So now she has to look at why hasn't she been able to do that yet. So it brings up stuff. It brings up,
I can
all
tell you what I
those-
get psychically.
you know, it's insecure, you know, you need a secure job.
No.
I mean, I'm reading into it, but you know what your history is.
Well, you did. I mean, you don't have to be psychic to see this. If I was just going to go by, logic, you said you had a day job, but you didn't identify it, which makes me feel like it's the kind of day job where if you told them, I'm reading tarot cards, it's not the greatest thing in the world for them. So there's your answer right
But
there.
then she was thinking maybe there's a reason she's there that will bring
Well,
some of that magic too.
okay, but I'll come back to that.
Okay.
Okay, so it's, identify your goal, identify your history with the goal, identify your gift is the third one. What are you really good at?
So give an example.
Well, cooking, being a parent, being a child, doing what you do at work.
Listening.
Listen, yeah. And then the fourth one is blend your gift with your goal, so that every time you think about your goal, you think about your gift too. And the object being to reduce the negative charge you have about your history with the goal, and to reinforce the fact that your goal is your gift, and that your gift can overcome the negative stuff.
So, for instance, I'm good at collage. That's my gift. So when I'm thinking about my goal, like to make more money, I picture making a collage and the money's coming off it. You know, you have to be just creative, and sometimes it's surreal. Say you're a good cook, you know, you're stirring the soup And that's where love's coming from, if that's your goal. So you magically see all the hearts, coming around you and nourishing yourself with the soup. So sometimes it'll be a weird visualization.
Yes, but let's hope. Well, they're artists. Artists do weird visualizations all the time. I mean, that's the whole thing, right? Okay, and then, okay, so blend your gift with your goal. And the fifth one is do a contemplation, which is to do a visualization in your mind's eye when you wake up and before you go to
Look
sleep.
at, I was
Oh, Amy had an eye in her hand.
gluing that.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Spooky! Spooky action at a distance. It's Einstein. Oh, nice, Amy. I like that. And the contemplation has to include the negatives that come with the positives. I mean, the obvious one is if you win the lottery, you're going to find you have relatives you never knew before. I mean, that's the easiest one. But it's everything. Let's say for some reason you want a partner. Your partner might not like your animals, or you might not like your partner's animals.
Or they leave their socks around.
Or well, now you're talking about guys. But I'm just there's I don't know where to start when it comes to what is negative. It brings up a lot of stuff, but the whole purpose of the quantum affirmations and doing the vision board is to get friends with yourself and to realize you're strong. And if you ain't dead yet, you've gone through a whole lot of stuff. And if you got through that, you probably can get through this.
And to be specific, because sometimes we think, oh, we just want more money, but then you have to think, what do you want to do with that?
Right.
And hone it down into something real.
Which is easy to say, but it's true. I mean, when someone, I have had people come to me and say, is this person the one? And I'm like, if you got to ask some asshole astrologer if he's the one, he's not the one. Seriously. I mean, I'm good at this. I do astrology. I just wrote a book on astrology. But if you got to ask me, he's not the one. Or you have to face the fact that you don't believe he's the one, or you have doubts. It always comes back to being a brave person and facing your fears. That's what everything comes down to. And then the magic happens. I mean,
Yeah, and it doesn't always come in the way you think, right?
Right, and Donna was talking before about doing the check ritual. One of the things about the check ritual is basically this thing. You write down what you want. Because a lot of times people don't know what they want. It's like, I want to have a partner. Okay, why do you want to have a partner? Because I don't want to be lonely. Okay, now we're talking. You don't necessarily have to have a partner to not be lonely. So, it's refinement. But the great thing about vision boards and quantum affirmations in life is that you make changes. In the tarot, that's the magician card. The magician card is the card of power.
And you can do that when you're making a vision board, because you just add things or take things away.
Right. Hey, and actually, I will answer psychic questions since this is a pretty intimate. It's a pretty intimate group. So
Yeah.
So Donnie, you want to start? You have a psychic question for me? I mean, and of course, it's for entertainment purposes only.
It's recorded. You recorded this.
Damn right.
I mean, this is not a psychic question, but I think just maybe I'll come up with that. But I think that what is that you want is really hard, and I find this sometimes
Yes.
in readings, and especially with myself. Even it's like, oh, or sometimes you have faith, you're not attached. We don't get attached to exact outcomes, but sometimes I feel like I'm just floating there because I haven't been really crystal clear with what I want.
Yeah.
Yes, we have faith, we're going, and I see that with people like you're saying, Monte,
Yeah.
when you do readings and it's what do you want and you can't,
Yes.
we don't know. And I'm also stuck in that, why I'm trying to help other people. I get it.
Do you think I'm sorry.
No, go right
I
ahead.
just wonder if that's sort of a form of procrastination, perfectionism.
Oh,
that,
yeah, Virgo stuff.
that
Sounds
if you
like.
pick something, you're gonna be stuck with it, because it's fluid, it's changing,
Yeah,
and it's like peeling an onion, really.
right.
Just like picking a tarot card, and then you
Yeah.
pick another one for clarification, or it takes
Yeah.
you to the next level of understanding, as you go. So you just
Yeah.
pick a goal, and as you're going towards that, there might be detours or things will reveal themselves, but you got to start somewhere. I mean, being an Aries, it's easy for me to say, because
Yeah.
I just I just always jump in, to start something.
One of the things I learned from Amy when I first met her, because I was amazed by her art, is that she said, in terms of starting a piece, just start it, because you're probably going to end up throwing what you start away anyway. But just, get stuff
So you're
down.
talking about writing.
I'm talking about writing. But Donna, what you're saying about people not knowing, what they
You
want,
see that all the time.
I did it myself. I went, for some reason, it must be the sand or the glacier or something. There's a lot of really good psychics on Long Island. And one of them is called Jeffrey Wands. I don't know if you ever heard of him. If you want to get in touch with someone who's on the other side, that's the guy to talk to. I can do it, but not like him. And we went and got appointments and readings, and I came in, I didn't know what to ask him. He was like, you should just keep doing what you're doing. I was like, great, love it, out. Meanwhile, he got Amy's grandmother's nickname that only she and her mother knew, described her perfectly. She's standing over here, described my father. I mean, the guy was really good. But I had the same exact, I don't know, what do I want? But actually, and this is something that I wish I had put in the book, and I hope I did. At a certain point,
Who's
you
being
don't know.
perfectionist?
Starting with the concept of I want what I have
Yeah.
is super powerful. Even if it's not 100% true, but just having that, I have all that I need to get what I want. We call that sort of the master affirmation. I have all that I need to get what I want. And starting from, I don't want anything other than to keep this going. I have what I want. I think that's when a person is sitting in their power, because there's no lack. There's no missing pieces. And just starting from that position, and then, maybe a new car wouldn't be such a bad thing. But once again, it's making friends with yourself and knowing you can do it. Any psychic questions come up? I mean, you don't have to. Less work for mom, But I don't mind doing it if people have questions. Go, Lisa. You're muted. You got to unmute, or do I have to mute you? I don't know how it works.
Oh, I just unmuted. Thank you
Okay.
thank you for offering that.
Sure.
I appreciate your psychic intuitive input as I'm processing the recent breakup.
What do you want to know? See, that's
Uh,
the question.
Deeper, what was it all about? Some of the deeper layers of the relationship. His name is Livio.
Well, I feel it was super complicated. I mean, it looks like a spider's web. Maybe you were in the web and you had to get out. It was like showing that you can get out of I swear to God, I saw a spider's web, and that's sort of how I do it.
Great description. It was a spider's web and I had to get out.
Yeah, I think that answer. That would be my answer to your question if you came to me with that question, because it's not like I start off, oh, give me the real cool thing to look at, give me the real cool symbolism. No, I'd be happy if I saw you guys at a restaurant, but no, seriously. But
You never know.
I never know, and
Right.
the way psychic stuff works, since we're doing the whole thing, to me at least, and I think the way it works for other people too, is when that time before you speak, when you're assembling the thoughts and the smells and what you want to say and all this other stuff, that is where the psychic information can come out if I step back and I let it come in rather than bidding it to come in. I because I'm asking about your situation, and that was what I saw. I saw a spider's web, and spiders' webs, believe it or not, scientific, they're stronger than steel.
Oh, so it can really trap you.
Oh, for sure. Oh my God, spiders' webs are big time in science. They're fascinating. So maybe you got fascinated by the strength of it, by the whole thing, and then next thing you know, you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now you're
It was
out.
really a perfect symbol. Thank you for that.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Thank you very much. Mm.
Well, it's working, so anybody else got a question?
Contemplate. Yeah, he's tuned in, people.
Okay,
Can
I
I
think
add some,
Well, this
can I add
group-
something
group
about
has-
spiders?
This group has great energy.
He's not the lazy bum he looks like.
Spiders have a shelf life. They show up when you've got a insect infestation, and then they do their job, and then they leave.
That's incredible.
Ooh, thank you, Rebecca.
And we had it. I didn't know this. I mean, I read about this later, but we had and you don't have to know that you have an insect infestation. If you've got spiders, they're either looking for something or they've been called in to clean. And then if you have a superior cleaning mechanism like bats that show up, the spiders don't need to be there and they leave.
Wow.
And I
Bats are
love,
awesome.
I love bats. Bats are a wonderful. Well, I
Well,
love spiders too. They show up in dreams and meditations with information.
They're cute.
So maybe you're being in that situation. It's served its usefulness for you, and it's time to move on.
Yeah, I think you're right. So this is a true story that actually happened. It's a bat story.
Yeah.
So we're watching television, as we often do, after a day's work, and we're watching a show called The Staircase, and it's the story of this guy.
True story.
It's a true story of this man who was accused of killing his wife, and at one point they postulated that maybe she was scared and fell down the stairs by a swarm of bats, which to me sounds batty, and as they're showing the CGI swarm of bats on the television, a real bat goes by our television.
But we didn't know it was real.
No, of course we didn't know it was real because it's a whole swarm on the television. And then all of a sudden it comes back and we're like, Amy, I just saw a real bat. And it turns out that when I had opened the door of my studio, which has the awning from our store that says the Enchanted World, because we don't want to throw away this awning after we close the store, we put it over my door. It's the perfect place for bats, apparently. And this bat had come in, and I got him out. But they were cute. It was really cute.
Lauren, did you say you had a psychic question?
Yeah, I'm wondering about timing.
What do you
I've
wanna
been
know?
planning this. I've been planning this move to Kentucky for 2 years, and there
I
was
feel
a
good about
delay.
it. I feel good. I feel really good about it even from when you were talking about it before.
Yeah, there was a delay, but it was because my dad just passed away. So if I
I'm so
didn't stay
sorry.
here in Florida, I could not be with him in his final weeks, which it was just a month ago. So
Wow.
I feel like maybe now it's cleared,
It
Yeah,
makes
and maybe
sense.
it'll.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. To tell you the truth, I don't really feel any blocks about it.
Okay. Good to
I
know.
think you're cool with it. I think it's cool with the move. The move is cool. You know, I think it's
Yeah, I
like
have my little moving truck here on my board.
oh, cool.
My little moving truck, my little for sale sign that the place sold already.
Good.
Aw.
There's the new
sold.
place we're going.
Yeah, Amy says you should put sold on
Cross
it.
it out and
I
say
did. It
sold.
says sold.
Oh, you did?
Oh, sorry.
Can't see. Cute.
Oh, yeah, look at that. It has the sold thing. Excellent. Great minds think alike.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that was easy. I mean, I would, by the way, I would tell you.
Yes, he would.
I would.
Because you lose your magic powers. if you-
Exactly. I can tell you about funny experiences. So I'm reading for these very buttoned down people from Greenwich, Connecticut. And they're lovely people. And she says, can you tell me about my deceased brother? And I swear I see him throwing her down the stairs. Speaking of the staircase. And I said to her, well, did he ever kind of like throw you down the stairs? And she's like, yeah, all the time. And apparently they had a sunken living room with a couple of super heavily carpeted stairs and when they were kids, he used to throw her down the stairs and then, call their mother and say she threw him down the stairs, like what kids do. And so the whole psychic thing, you got to really say what you see. In this case, the spider web. Then there was the other time, I don't know if you ever saw us. Well, I think some of the people did see. We had this Ask the oracles thing, and this woman was asking me questions. Can you tell me something about my father? And I was like, well, I see an ice skate. Well, he was a professional ice skater. He played hockey professionally. I was like, well, that's good. But can you tell me something else? I was like, well, I see you in a wedding dress. And she's like, well, on his deathbed, I was getting married, so I came to see him in my wedding dress.
Do you see
Do
anything
you
else?
see anything else? I was like, no, I only do 2 miracles a day. I mean, that's what it comes down to. But the whole psychic thing is wonderful because it is tapping into the quantum field. And I think a lot of it comes to the fact that I really do want to help because and everybody who's here today, this is kind of magical that we have this kind of a group here. I
Does
think.
anybody else have a psychic question?
So he'll shut up.
I
So he'll stop telling stories from war stories of the psychic world.
I mean, it's interesting also. I think I do have a question. So this nonprofit that I'm working at, my mentor had asked me to take over for her for a long time. I've learned my lesson, never take over for legends, but
I was
I
about
kept
to
saying
say,
no. Yeah. I kept saying no, but I kept feeling myself being pushed back there over and over and over again. And so I finally have surrendered. I'm here to learn. So my question is, um, can you see how long I'll be there?
it's funny that you say this because my question to you was going to be, how long is it going to be there? I have a feeling that the organization itself is about to undergo tremendous changes.
Mhm.
I think before you commit or whatever, that has to happen. Of course, I can be wrong, and you might be talking about something that's existed since the 1600s, but
I think you're right. Yeah, there's two ways. Either one, I'm doing a whole rehaul, and two, some of the grants, the federal grants, a lot of them prevention are going away. So this could be, it's a very old nonprofit, but it's kind of on its last legs. So it could go either
yes,
way. Yeah,
that was the feeling I got that
either a
that
whole transformation or just an end.
that it was going to end actually.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, at that point, I can't be accurate, but it could be a
No,
transformation.
you
But it
Monty,
won't.
I've hit on that too, some psychically, like intuitively. I've hit on a little bit of that too,
Sure,
even
I
though
never
I'm
feel like I'm telling anybody
yeah,
something they don't know. I
yeah,
just feel
yeah,
like,
Confirmation.
yeah, it's a confirmation.
yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. And once again, this is definitely. Amy is always like, "You're so brave." Well, first of all, we're on Zoom, so you can't punch me. But, but I mean, if you're, if I get something that's that important, I have to tell you that I felt like it wasn't you. It was like it going away. That was the image that I saw. And of course, in this
You want
group,
you want some more confirmation?
sure.
I think the medical stuff we got now is really I do Medicare insurance for people who need it, and the system, and I've been doing this 19 years, and it was the creator's joke because I fought it for like 15 of that, and I finally said, this is so creepy. To be good at this is so creepy. I'm just going to have to embrace it. So I did, because my focus is on clients to help them not go bankrupt and also get what
Yes,
they want.
yes,
And
100%.
there's so much deception and there's so much evil things that are being done. I do believe the whole thing's going to get replaced by
You're
something
totally
where
right.
the focus is on health, and it's coming soon. I just don't know how soon. It's going to mean I don't have this job anymore, but I'm planning to outlive it so that people know that there are ways to be healthy and restore their bodies and all this, you know what I mean?
Well, from
Yeah.
the psychic point of view, I felt that you are going to keep a job in that area. I don't think that's all going away. I do think it's going to change and for the better and soon. Right?
Exactly.
But for
You
some
know,
reason, it's not going to end up with you losing your job. I think in a way you might have a better job.
yeah. Well,
Maybe
I'm
because you
learning.
remember the bad old days.
I'm learning for sure. But I think this is so funny. But to be honest, when I'm not sad at all about it going away, I just
Okay.
feel like, this other person, my mentor had it for so long. And it's like, oh, when Donna took it over, it was all shit hit the, fan and it's gone.
Yeah.
I don't want that to be over me.
Your mentor might have been really smart and knew when to get out. That's a big deal. Knowing when to get out, knowing when to walk away from the table is important, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I get stuck on that. Like, what are people gonna think? But it doesn't really matter. I know it doesn't matter, but I find myself in that cycle, you know.
But you have a heart for serving, right?
I do,
For
yeah.
people?
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
I think everyone
if
here
you're
does.
focused on that, I'm sorry, Monty, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think everyone that's in this group right now does.
Yeah.
At least that's the feeling I get. I feel like this would be a good group that we can go in and make some big changes in a lot of places. So I do think the vision boards are going to be activated.
The vision, what do you call a group then?
The vision broads,
Vigilantes.
the vision vigilantes. I did write a song called Ouija Broad because Amy was doing the Ouija board by herself. Hey Maggie, when you were in San Francisco, did you know Dick Bowles from the Glide Church?
I'm still in San Francisco and I don't know him. Are you talking about
passed.
It might have
Glide
been before
Memorial?
your time.
It might have been, yeah, because he wrote "What Color Is Your Parachute?"
Oh, Richard Bowles. Yeah, no, I never came across him.
Oh, okay, because I thought because you ran a thing too, I thought maybe because that's where he's from. That's where he wrote that book to help priests transition.
Yeah, awesome book. But no, I never got to meet him personally.
It was very, very interesting and funny as hell.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
knows Susan Reed.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, we're good
But
friends.
she's from out here where we live. I've known her forever.
Isn't
yeah.
that funny?
I mean, she lives in Portugal now.
What?
Yeah, she
God, I can't
does.
keep up.
She does. So, Monty, I have a question. Do you do other people? Like if I were to ask about another
Yeah, try.
person?
I
Uh,
will try. I will try everything, but
okay.
no guarantees. But for
So,
someone with a very cute, I don't know what that thing is in the back, the little animal that's standing up on its hind
oh,
legs.
you want to see this? It's
Is it
wonderful.
a
It's my
bird?
totem.
Yeah.
I fell in love with it.
It's so cute. I'll definitely ask anything.
It's a glass artist in Pittsburgh
Oh,
named Ron Johnson.
Oh, that's
And
so
look,
great.
I
isn't
love
it
it.
So
wonderful? It's
fun.
just,
Yeah.
it felt
Yeah.
like a totem, and he hand makes the glass as well as the
Magical.
sculpture.
Wow. Because I
Yeah.
keep staring at it in behind you. So ask
Yeah.
away. Yeah. I mean, I'll
I,
try my best. I
okay.
will tell you this though. There are people. If sometimes I don't get it because they don't want to be read, but I'll give
Yeah.
it a try.
Well, this is my daughter who just graduated from Boston University and is looking for a job. So the question is, where will she end up and how long will her job search be?
Wow, she's a long ball hitter. I don't think you have to worry about her.
Yeah.
I just saw that she. Oh, I might be wrong, but I see she's holding out for the big job.
Huh?
She's a Babe Ruth.
That's great.
She might get a lot of strikeouts, but when she hits, she hits.
Yeah.
She's not looking for a single or a double or even a triple. She's looking for a home run, and I think she is going to get it.
Awesome.
But
Awesome.
but if it takes a while, that's why.
Okay.
She's not going to be satisfied with anything other than the long ball.
Well, thank you. I was just in Cooperstown. I was just
Oh,
saw the
really?
Baseball
that's
Hall of
right.
Fame. So,
Lori, our friend Lori, are you friends with Lori?
well,
Sullivan?
I'm Facebook friends with her through you because we connected over
Okay.
our daughters, and she
All
saw
right.
that I was going to be in Cooperstown and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm not going to be. I'm out of
Yeah, she
town."
was in
But
France for
She's a
3
wonderful
weeks.
person.
yeah,
She knew Amy before I did, and that's over 50 years.
wow, that's amazing.
I know,
That's
scary.
amazing.
She's an angel. She really is.
She really is. She helped. I'm sure Jules Pfeiffer lived a lot longer because he moved up from here to Cooperstown, and she helped him because she's involved with the hospice and
Wow.
and helped him and his wife to acclimate in Cooperstown, which is a nice place.
Such a
Yeah.
small world.
It
Huh?
really
Yeah.
is.
In a
It's
nice
very
way.
sweet.
Yeah, Lori's awesome. Yeah,
Well,
your daughter is awesome, by the way. Good Lord.
Joan and
thank
Aaron, I don't know if you were here. Monty was offering to do psychic questions if you have a question. We can't
I
hear
can't
you.
hear you. You gotta unmute. I might have muted you. I'm sorry. Wait, hold on a second. Okay. maybe
Thank you, Money.
There we go. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so we've been listening and I asked Erin if she had a question. She said no, and I said, well, then maybe I'll ask one about my daughter, who is a
That's tricky.
yeah, I know.
Are you
And
trying
she
to?
just, I just kind of got to look, so I don't know if that's gonna fly.
This is elder abuse against me.
Yeah,
No,
maybe that's my question. Is there going to be any elder abuse in my future?
No, I don't see it. But ask away. I'll come down there and defend you.
Thanks, I gotta be careful. I don't even tell them everything that goes on in my life. They'll put me in a home.
Oh, God.
No, you're too interesting to have around.
I don't know. Well, I'm trying.
So ask away.
Well, do you have a question?
This
You
is
don't have to have a
this is
question.
such a mother.
No, I love it. You're very good. And I like your insights and what you pick up. So I think Erin should ask a question. I feel
Okay, I'll ask one.
You don't want,
That's a mother-daughter thing. I see this all the time. They don't have a question,
There
but they
she
have one
is.
about their daughter. Okay.
I have a business and it's going through a lot of transition. I need to turn it into something that I actually like, something that's healthier for the planet. And it's changing and it's happening. I just don't have any idea where it's going. Have any
I see
insight
it
at
as
all?
crystallizing. I got a really good feeling about it, actually. I think no, even if it looks really amorphous now, it is crystallizing and solidifying I think it's becoming itself, and there's not much you can do about what it's becoming. And I think you have to go with it, becoming what it's becoming. But it's like watching a crystal formation, or like what Dr. Emoto with the water, the way the water makes these beautiful patterns. That's what
Yeah.
I saw it making beautiful patterns, and I think what you should do is like stand back and let it happen.
I try to not put any because really I don't have any feel for what direction it's going. But I liked that water crystallizing because I'd made my mom a set of glasses where we put different words on them.
Excellent.
So that, and it was
how funny, yeah.
just based on his
Oh, really?
and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
some of the most important work that's ever been done, actually.
It's no
Yeah.
surprise, right? We're all connected.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I
but
love the
I got a
crystallization.
great feeling from it.
Mhm.
I don't get mad at me, but when you started talking about whether how it's going to affect the planet, I felt like you got to let that happen. That it's not going to negatively affect the planet, but you're being overly concerned with it might affect your business.
Yeah, it's because it was a business that I got into with my grandfather, and I didn't really know exactly what I was doing at the time. So it's a lamination business, which doesn't sit right with me in a
No,
lot
no,
of.
no, no, no. See, that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I see what you're
I
saying
think, I
exactly.
think I don't think you can impose. The business has a life of its own, and I don't think you can impose your stuff on it at this point. I mean, maybe one day and investigate all the different alternatives. But
It's really nice to hear that. It's kind of a load off to hear that.
oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have worked in business, though it's the film business, which doesn't really count. I mean, that's just everyone's insane, but what that's the only negative I got is when you start worrying about the planet. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but it's like you took
Not now.
Yeah, just not now. Just let it solidify, and then you can investigate water-based stuff or I know the lamination process is a plastic to start with, right? I mean, it's a film.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
I mean, it's going to happen whether I do it or not. And I mean, it can help me get to other places. So
yeah, and plus I have a really good feeling about the business. I feel like you helped.
Okay.
I didn't get the feeling like, yeah, she's laminating bad things or no, I just got the feeling that it was a good thing and that you should stay away from destroying it.
Maybe there'll be a
yeah, that is the hard part,
plastic
not
bottles
destroying it.
or some
Yeah, look at that. Plastic bottles, now they make clothing out of it.
kelp.
Kelp
Well, and I
stuff.
wanted to make cards. I went through a phase where I really felt like I would be making cards.
You mean
that
like greeting
using
cards, or you mean like oracle cards?
decks of cards, but all different
Laminated?
kinds of cards for different people. Like I have a Montessori friend, a teacher that she has ideas for a deck of cards, and my mom has a great deck of cards, and so I
But
just
you mean like cards with words on them?
yeah, because we laminate, and so I work with the printers, and so I just felt like that would be a good direction to take it that I could relate
It's a good
to.
idea.
Yeah.
And people are very concerned how their cards are laminated.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Like,
I'm sorry, go
you know,
right
that's
ahead.
like a huge thing where they criticize. If it's
Maybe,
not shiny enough or.
Amy and I are classic examples of people who've been, the old expression was hoisted by your own petard. In other words, you do something and then it's like Boris Badenoff on Rocky and Bullwinkle. I send Lady Spy with package, who gets blown up with bomb in it, who gets blown up, me. So Amy and I, when we did the Enchanted Tarot and Karma cards back in 88 and 90, we wanted everybody to be into tarot and we wanted everybody to be into astrology. Well, now they are, and they all have a deck. So maybe you should somehow find, well, there's a book, somehow get to the people that are looking to make their own decks and offer the service of the printing and lamination of it.
Yeah, I think I would
Yeah,
enjoy it
because
very much.
that's a big market actually now, is what I'm trying to say.
Especially if it's in the USA.
Yeah,
if it's-
do it in the country. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that could be a whole subset of your business.
She's like, okay, done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the right answer.
Well, I
There you go.
wanted to, I've had those thoughts about that. There's so many good ideas for cards, and I love every deck. So
Well,
I
there's
think,
so many people out there who you can see it on Facebook even. And I'm sure Instagram too, that they want to do their own deck. So you could be, and they're always asking, how do I get it done?
Mm.
Unfortunately, sometimes they ask us twice.
mhm.
I was like, no, I told you, I can't do this again. Actually, where we're going for dinner tonight, they said, could you come a half hour early? We want to ask you about publishing. So you never know. You never
Well,
know.
cool. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think helped me a lot.
My pleasure.
Thank
I like doing the psychic stuff. It's all a result, because when I did Karma cards back in the 80s, it started in 86. I didn't have a computer. There were no computers. So I had to do the whole thing in my head. And I think I rewired my brain. So I really see the meanings of the cards and the meanings of the planets and the signs in the houses.
Hey, does anybody want to share their board? We only have 5 more minutes.
Are you
Can I
kidding?
just ask a quick question?
Sure.
Sure.
So it seems to me that if you can identify just what the resistance is, like maybe in Aaron's case, part of it was having toxic products or being around toxicity or whatever,
Right.
the resistance that's holding you back. For me, I've at this point in my career, a lot of that's gone because I just went ahead and did it anyway.
Right. You said you travel the country, you said.
Yeah. So, I mean, my career's on, I don't need any more career. I've got, I just need to maintain. But, for the next phase of my life and wanting to stay healthy and working out and all of that, I have a great resistance to doing that.
I don't understand.
Yeah, whatever. And then I can get on a pretty healthy track when I'm at home, and then I have to, get on an airplane and fly somewhere and be wined and dined and then
That's hard.
What's your
You know,
sign? What's your
I'm a
star?
Taurus. I'm a Taurus.
Well, you guys like
Oh, you like
luxury.
food.
And you
We like our
food.
comforts. We really we like indulging.
Yeah, but when I was trying to connect with you just now, I saw your heart is very open.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's open.
Amy's grandmother lived to be 102. She smoked 2 cigarettes a day. She drank a scotch every day. It's and we knew someone else who also lived a nice long life and that smoked, and she was like, I have to give this up. I said, I don't know if that's the best idea, because at a certain point your body is like, well, this is what I do, and
Yeah.
and it knows how to deal with it. And
So
it's
just a
your
little
job.
forgiveness, maybe a little self-forgiveness or something.
Yes, and acceptance.
Yeah, I mean, you seem okay to me. I mean,
All right.
I don't do health stuff
But
because
you
it's,
do.
but well, I do.
You tell me if you could see a black lung or,
Well, you know, it's funny. I
don't
had a
know
really
what.
good friend who unfortunately passed away in '96, who was an amazing doctor in New York City, and he's the person I contact when I do health stuff. But health is too important to be left to psychics, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
I have asked him on occasion. He says you're okay. He says your back's hurting, but
No,
that
it's not. Tell
okay.
him he's crazy. My back's pretty good.
Whatever you say. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I feel good, but thanks for all this. This is really great.
Well,
I
it's my pleasure. It
Thanks.
really is my pleasure. You know, when Amy said, let's do this again, I was like, yeah, because the first one was a lot of fun. This is even more fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like everybody in the group and the sharing that's going
Yes.
on. It's
So nice.
it's a really nice thing you've put together.
Thank you.
We're so proud of this one because it's sort of
Should be.
everything we've ever done in
Yeah.
one spot, and it's not a cult, you know, because there's no tarot cards or astrology, you know. Well, it's like what Donna was saying before about not knowing how to, not being sure about transitioning into doing more tarot readings. There's people out there who still think it's the work of the devil.
Yeah.
Hard to believe.
You know, I started reading the conservative stuff and in a way got a little bit more conservative because I wanted to read all the papers because I wanted to see what the day was when they come to kill the tarot readers. You know,
Yeah.
I figured they'll post about it, so I'll figure it out. And a lot of what they said made sense, but at the same time, there's still people doing it. I saw one the other day from Australia, some guy, you know, the occult is taking over the world.
Mm.
But the vision boards are not a cult at all. It's in every school.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
yeah, we're hoping this one catches fire because everyone's like, oh, we want you to do community. There should be more community. But what does anyone do? This is like community in a box.
If any of you have a chance to leave a review on Amazon, it means a lot. Because
Yeah.
people read reviews before they buy.
Plus, it wakes up our publisher.
Well, I finished my vision board.
I'm showing it.
This is my summer.
I love it.
Wait. Okay, let's go back to the. We're so technical. Okay, hit the button. And for a second, we're in Japan.
For having a fruitful summer.
Anybody else want to show theirs?
I'll show mine.
Okay.
So it's got about the move, and it's got some good positive messages
Oh,
on
yeah.
there.
And you gonna hang it up?
I am. I have it on an easel. So I have a
Could be-
horse and carriage business, so I'm hoping to stay
that's awesome.
prosperous
You
with that.
put, you put everything that you wanted.
I've got music. It shows that my path is clear. It's got some money up there.
Love it.
So
Good
yeah,
job.
it was my first one.
Awesome.
It could be the first thing up in your house in Kentucky.
You know what's
Yay!
nice to make them for somebody else too? I made one for Monte's birthday.
Hmm.
And I did sort of like a portrait, put the picture in the middle and all their stuff around it.
Nice.
It's a treasure. What's great about it is that you can have a party and everybody can. Oh, here we go. I love
Oh,
it. You went
Lisa.
out of the box. That's cool.
Oh, that's beautiful. Is that, it's a ring, what was the theme?
It's
Remind
just
me.
like, it's actually only the base layer, but I
Right.
have a lot of gardens and flowers. So for
It
as
sure
far as
does.
There's a lot
rejuvenation
of portals.
and portals and Archangel Michael is over there.
Lovely photograph.
Good job.
Mhm.
It's the base layer. I'm so grateful for doing this in this context. Thank you
It
for
is-
the getting
It is
started.
pretty amazing.
How about anyone else? Did you get it far enough to share?
So I went back to my vision book, which
Yeah.
for the first time I did a booklet. It was one sheet of watercolor paper,
Oh,
and
beautiful.
I
What a
learned the
great
technique of how to
What a
make
great
it
idea. So you've been doing various,
into things in the book.
oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
What
And
a
so it's got
great
my word for the year, which is beauty. But I hadn't picked it up for a while. And so this was what I did today.
Healthy
awesome.
life.
Healthy
It's so
life.
great.
And then these little
I love it.
graphics. And then I found this recipe card, which I thought was kind of fun because it was like the idea of the recipe for
Yes.
getting a goal done. You need to have
Yes.
ingredients, prep time, uh, directions, that kind of thing. So I put that
I
in with
love
washi
that.
I
tape.
love it. That's thinking outside of the box in the best way.
It's
Uh,
sort of like a mirror where it says mind, beauty. It looks like a mirror in the heart. For some
Oh
reason.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So that
awesome.
was fun. And as I said, I hadn't picked
I
it up
love
in
everyone's vision board, and
a while.
we
Thank you.
completed them pretty much, right? That's so
Yeah.
great. We weren't sure this concept would work, talking and working, but it does. We had an in-person vision board party,
Yeah.
and we all worked on one board. That's a fun
Ah.
thing to do also.
Actually, Laurie Soliston's in the vision board book.
She is
Oh,
her story.
Yeah, her story, because she was running vision board parties up
oh,
in Cooperstown.
wow. What a neat idea.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're hoping is that it's gonna, have parties where people go away and have a vision board, which is just so cool.
We're doing it in person on June 21st. There's a great metaphysical store on Long Island, and they're having an event, and we're going to do it. Vision boards.
Amityville Apothecary. It's a really cute town, actually. It's not a horror town. They'll never live it down, though. But well, we did it, everybody. Unless
Thank
anybody else wants to show, but I thought that was great.
Thank you, everybody. This was fun
you.
for us.
Thank you
Nice to
so
be with
much.
you.
Thank you
Yeah.
And
so much. It was wonderful. Thank you.
If you want to send me pictures of your vision boards, I'll post them. It'd be wonderful.